Hey all, Russ here, RVERTV. Welcome. Check it out. We're leaving this cute little RV park in the middle of nowhere. I'm in Mina, Nevada. Alright, this is a busy Highway 95. We got a lot of miles to do today. This place is like a oasis in the desert for the truckers. Lady at the RV park said trucks spend the night, get something to eat. But a lot of these places, she said too, are abandoned. One for the truckers that would really close up here. But they stay busy at that RV park. Highly recommend it. If you're ever trucking through there, spend the night. Alright, we got over 200 miles getting up towards Carson City, Nevada today. I thought we'd do a little sightseeing, see what we can find along the way. So buckle up, the journey starts now. Picture perfect weather, no winds. That's a good thing so far this morning. Here's another little old town coming up. Back in the day, all these places probably just thriving. You see just so many abandoned buildings. I gotta pull off the side a second, readjust the camera. Front cam. I forgot to put a good battery in it. Oops. First mistake all day. Don't tell. This looks good. Wow, look at these abandoned shacks across the street. Let me switch cameras. I'll show you what I'm seeing. There's a couple fixer-uppers, just need a little paint, a few boards, move in ready. Alright, let me get the camera fixed up, we'll get on the way. Now we're rolling. Yeah, a lot of these places, they're just shacks now. Wonder what they do for a living here. Maybe there's mining up in the hills. Okay, we got a lot of open road. Next stop will be Hawthorne, Nevada. Be driving through there. Then there's a big lake right after it. This intersection here, the road to the right, would actually take you all the way up to US Highway 50, Middlegate, I think. Loneliest road in America. But we're trucking straight towards Hawthorne. From Mina to Hawthorne, almost 50 miles, somewhere around there. I know the camera's not picking it up, but to the right and to the left, as far as you can see, they got bunkers where they store weapons. Hawthorne is a huge, beyond huge, massive weapons depot, I believe. And you cannot walk around out there. They might come and say, "I don't think so, buddy. You get out of here." The town itself is kind of all by its lonesome, too. I've driven through here before. I'm just going to do a drive-through. There's a big lake, Lake Walker. We'll stop, check out the sights there, and then from there we're going to keep trucking. It's early morning. Sun's just now getting up there. Well, I had a lot of miles to do today. I wanted to get out early, but I get out early anyway. Doesn't matter. But this is Motel City. Motels. There's a couple RV parks here, I believe. You always want to keep your fuel tank full out in these deserts, because these towns are few and far between. To stay here, you couldn't really get around the outside areas very well. Except at Walker Lake, we'll see that. That's a pretty good recreation area. You know, in Nevada, there is big dispersed camp areas. Not here, but you can camp all over this state. A lot of nice state parks. I found one, trying to get to it today. It's called Fort Churchill. Supposed to have a bunch of ruins and all kind of good things. Kind of the goal. And to get up close to Carson City. Well, there's the first half of town. Here's the second. And they got a casino. Heck yeah. It's Nevada. I bet these places are hopping with all the servicemen here and women. But you got stores, businesses. It's a long ways to Walmart from here. Goodness, what would be the biggest town? Would be Carson City, I believe. Or Fallon, maybe go up to Fallon. Reno's to the north of us. But definitely a long ways from a big town here. Very clean, very nice. Little museum, it's always closed there on the left. Hey, got 'em a McDonald's. Bet that place is packed every day, huh? Okay, well, you just seen Hawthorne. Walker Lake is right up the road. I'll stop there. All the trucks on the left. It is definitely a trucker's road. Well, Highway 95, it's a main artery between the interstates. Like going through Reno's Interstate 80 and down through Vegas, you know, it's, we got I-15, farther south I-40, so they all connect. And Highway 95 runs clear up to Canada and all the way down. I don't need fuel yet. I'm going to wait. Once we get past Walker Lake, I'm going to keep trucking west. There's a town called Yerington. Then I'm going to try to find that Fort Churchill State Park. On our way, heading up to Carson City, Nevada. And here on the left looks like the official entrance to the base. Right there. Okay, just a few miles up, we're going to see a big old lake. Oh, I just spotted right off to the right. Oh, we got to stop up here. There's wild horses. There's one. See if we can get a picture of them. This is Walker Lake. Big reservoir out in the middle of nowhere. Of course, a lot of snow up here. You can get snow, probably keeps it full. Let me find those horsies. They're up here somewhere. There they are. They're having breakfast. They're saying that guy with the camera is bugging me. There's more of them down there. See if I can find it. Zoom in. There they are. Pretty cool. The true Wild West right here, huh? A little bit of snow way up top yet. To be in June, still have that. That's a good sign, I bet. Alright, up the road, there's a campground I drove through before. I'm going to try to find it. We'll get a little closer look at the lake on our trucking north up towards Carson City. non-stop truck traffic on this highway. All right, I think the next little community up here is actually called Walker Lake. We're gonna drive through it. Pretty drive through here at the mountains, isn't it? And the water on the right. A lot of mobile homes in here. Then there's 2 or 3 little campgrounds right along the lake, if I remember right. Been a lot of years since I've been through here. I turned around. I drove past this. This is like a day use area down here. It's a good place to take a little break. I'll get a good view of the lake here. They got all kinds of little tables and pavilions. This is not the campground, though, I was thinking about. Well, let's take a sneak peek. There's the mountains on the back. And you can see that, look at all the little covered little pavilions. I don't know if you could camp in here or not. I don't think so. Pretty cool though, huh? Except for the truck traffic noise. There you can see the covered areas. Go all the way down to the beach. I think that water's low. I think this reservoir's a little low. Looks like it. You can see the water lines along the edge. I'm sure they control it somehow. All right, well, this is Walker Lake. Let's keep rolling down the road. I'll try to find that campground. There's that snow. Not much left. Yeah, I looked on the maps. It's right up here on the right. One of the little campgrounds. But we're winding right along the edge here. Fast-paced road to film. Guess I could have stopped there and just looked down. I think I see it up here. Yep. I'll pull off up here. Found it. This is the one I stopped at before. Got really good access. You can actually camp right down on the water. They got campsites all the way down, and it's a paved road to get down there. I think it's like first come, first serve. Perfect. What a view, huh? So if you want to do a little dry camping, right here around this Walker Lake, this one's perfect. The name of this is Sportsman Beach Campground Boat Launch. I'll drive through some of the campsites. So you can camp up here in the upper part or down by the lake. Vaulted toilets. They got dumpster. You just self-register here. Look how they have windbreaks along the picnic tables. What does that tell you? It's windy here. Wintertime be kind of chilly. Summertime be hot. I mean, this is desert. But what a view if you're a fishing person. Looks like they even got a little boat launch down there. So, if you're cruising through here on Highway 95, want a quick place to camp, your RV, car, tent, this is it, right along Walker Lake here. All right, we got about another 40 plus miles. We're going to cut over some mountains, get over a little town called Yerington. That's where I'll fuel up over there. On our way to Carson City. Hope you're enjoying the ride. Welcome to Yerington, Nevada. We're actually on alternate 95. We're not too much farther. Once we leave Yerington here, that Churchill State Park, just to the north, about 25 miles. Well, let's do a drive through town. What do you think? I just passed a ton of agriculture fields. They have water here. They are growing farmland everywhere. So this is probably where people come from Hawthorne to get their supplies. This is a pretty good sized little town. There's a big Rayleigh's grocery store, so you can get all your food here. Alright, I actually want to go to the right. Let's drive through town. Let's do a little sightseeing while we're here. We'll have to come back to this street here. According to the phone, Google Maps. And I better get fuel here somewhere too. They got all the graduating students' pictures up on the light poles. Isn't that cool, huh? Small town USA. Really clean looking too, isn't it? Casino, welcome to Nevada. Slot machine in every gas station. Big old mural in that building. Here's their downtown. Another casino. That banner says Harvest Capital of the Copper Hills. More stores. Another casino saloon. Well, that's what keeps Nevada going. Old brick buildings. Wow, big old mural there on the left. Well, it looks like we're through it. There's our courthouse. This must be the county seat. Big old courthouse. All right, let me get turned around. I want to go find that state park. Yeah, this has to be where all the other little towns come and shop. Because you could go all the way up to Fallon, but that's quite a ways up. Where we made a left off Highway 95 to come over here, if you would have went straight back there on that reservation, that would take you all the way up to Fallon. Yeah, that is a big mural, isn't it? Harvest Capital of Copper Hills. Motel. On the phone it shows RV parks. I always Google RV parks. Never know if I gotta stay. Alright, I need to find a place to fuel up. green grass. They got lawns here. They definitely got water. 95A, we're on alternate 95. And I see a good place it looks like up here to get some fuel. Just make a quick stop. Dollar store there. Maverick usually has the better prices. I usually look for Mavericks. You see a lot of them out west. Alright, let's fuel up this van. I think we got about 25-30 miles to get up to that Fort Churchill. Was that fast enough? It is when you turn the camera off. Had to clean 1 million bugs off the windshield. Well, maybe 500,000. Didn't really get too many until I got off the mountain down around these farm fields. Front of the van got splattered with bugs. Big auto parts place there. Looks like a car dealer. Yeah, this is quite a low valley down through here. And I need to make a right up here. Look at this big truck stop. Another huge fueling, 2 of them. All kinds of fuel here. We're riding this alternate 95. Once we get it way up, we'll end up on Highway 50. For more information on my travels, be sure to check out my website, RVERTV.TV. There you sign up for free newsletter, putting one out once a month now. Got all kinds of cool stuff, articles, pictures, previous travels, future travels, blogs, stories. Plus we got a little merch shop, all kinds of cool things, coffee mugs, hats, shirts, armchair traveler series, the heck yeah, mugs and shirts and whatnot, which help support the channel and future videos just like this one, driving across this great state of Nevada through the desert. Once again, it's RVERTV.TV, and I appreciate it very much. Well, it should be right up here. Let's see where all the trees are. Fort Churchill. The Pony Express has history here. This old fort. California Trail. All kinds of stuff right here. Go figure. I spotted this morning. This is very last minute. Never knew. I was just looking at a quick way to get up towards Carson City. Wow, what's that old white building? Looks like a farm. More agriculture fields here. All right. I'm looking for the entrance. Should be right up here on the left. Here it is. Found it. Well, let's go explore Fort Churchill. Looks like they online showed pictures of some old buildings, ruins, a little museum, all kinds of stuff. There's even a campground here. Talk about being out in the middle of nowhere. This is it. And it's fee-based. And it looks like I can pay right there. Alright, let me get a ticket. Old cemetery there too. $10 for day use. You could pay for camping there if you want to camp. Well, let's go in our visitor center and check out the little museum first. There's a park ranger. Nice lawn. Got trees. Well, it shows on the map Carson River runs through here. Couple old cannons. This is nice. Very good. Well, get parked, we'll walk around. I'm about the only one here. Me and the ranger. What a perfect day. Blue sky, almost no wind. It's gotta be close to about 75, 80 degrees. Not bad at all. Fort Churchill State Historical Park. Yeah, campground. Ruins. Carson River runs through here. So there's some of the old buildings out there still left. Field artillery support. Looks like a wagon for ammunition, and boy, those things look brand new, don't they? A lot of this stuff looks new here. Well, Nevada State Parks, they do it right. Looks like a little visitor center there. We'll go in there in a second. Picnic tables. And the plaque dedicating the park here. All of this history goes way back in the 1800s, and out there are the old buildings left from the fort.
I can't understand why everybody doesn't like it. You're so close to me. natural nature of man and his works. Visitors come to the site, look at the displays in the museum, walk around the ruins. Some stay overnight in the cottonwood shaded campground beside the river, but the nearby dragoon stables no longer stand. And the sound of the soldiers and civilians building Fort Churchill exists only in musty documents, and the gaunt-looking ruins standing in the sagebrush, and in the imagination of the viewer.
Feral Egan, 1972.
Don't let your hearts work against your white fathers. If you do, you will not get along. You see, they are already here in our land. Here, they are all along the river. And we must
Self-guided tour. Everything pops on when you walk past it. Wow, look at that. Just huge. Collision of interest. Well, you had mining here, you had people heading west. Silver everywhere.
degrees of latitude, 10 degrees of longitude. Elevation above the sea between 4 and 5,000 feet. Surrounded by lofty mountains, contents almost unknown.
Yeah, it showed online the California Trail comes through here. It's where they drove their covered wagons and headed west, and you got Pony Express. One of the routes came through here. Look at that, they're putting up the telegraph lines, getting rid of the Pony Express. Probably artifacts from when they did all the excavations. Guardians of the Route. So there's a picture of the fort when it was occupied. What a time to be alive back then, huh? My goodness. That's a small saddle, isn't it? Military probably, huh? I don't know. There's original old brick from the fort. I'll drive out. We'll go see the ruins. Cool old picture, huh? Back when this thing was alive and hustling, full of people. Living legacy. See, you never know what you're gonna find when you come out to these places. No clue. I was just heading up to Carson City, kind of spotted on the map. This was very last minute.
1876.
Do they light up? Mississippi River. I got little lights on the board.
San Francisco, Fort Richmond, Salt Lake City, through the valleys, along the grassy slopes, into the snow, into sand. Away they go, rider and horse. Did you see them? Take adventures.
Well, there's what's left of the fort out there. There's There's a paved road we can drive around. I'll go down. We'll take a little walk down there. Feels good to be out of the van. That river must be down there. Look at all the trees. So they got water. Nothing else does. So that Carson River must be down there too. Well, very cool. Memorial for the Pony Express. That didn't last long, did it? It didn't really work out. It was only a year and a half they had it. Then modern times took it over. But it came right through here. I know up around Ely and those places in Nevada, there was old routes that went through the desert. Well, let's drive on down to the old fort. I just talked to the maintenance man, real nice gentleman. He said, yeah, a lot of people camp here through the summer and fall. Because I asked him, I go, I'm the only one here. He goes, well, normally it gets busier. Of course, on the weekends, I guess it does too. Because that Carson River. Let's see, I guess I'll go down to the left. Find a little place to park, but there's what's left of them, of the buildings. Better watch out for snakes around here, huh? Well, they got pathways, looks like go up between the buildings. Kind of a desolate place, huh? Here's an old ruin. Well, you're talking over 150 years ago when this fort was active, and just full of soldiers and people going along that California Trail. It's when all them covered wagons heading west. Oh, here's a little sign. This was a bakery. Ah, an oven. Okay. See what else we got. Well, the walls are brick. And thick. My goodness. They must have made their own brick here, huh? Had to have. Where else would you get it? They sprayed some kind of a, must be like a concrete to preserve these walls over it. We can see the outline of the brick through it. Well, they got markers, tell you what the buildings are. Even still has the wood above the windows. Well done. Let's take a peek inside. Anyone home? Yeah, the thickness of those walls. Of course, it was a fort. Under attack, you don't want the bullets and the whatever to come through. So, well, I'm going to head back towards the van. I'll cut up by those other buildings real quick. I'd say this is the biggest one here. Frontier Medicine. So this is a hospital. Says it even served the travelers, so more than just the soldiers. There's an old medicine bottle. Looked like they bronzed it or something there. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, the amount of artifacts buried in here, I bet. Well, still here, still for people to come see what it used to be. Another fixer-upper. Well, okay. I'll go around the loop driving out of here. Maybe we'll find that campground. But with them putting that concrete, I think they call it like a gunite mixture or something, like a stucco. Really seals up the old brick. So this stuff will be here a long time. Pretty good access. I'd say that's even an active farm over there by the river. Well, there's the road that takes you into the campground. And I see some storyboards up here. Stop and check those a minute. California Trail. I remember seeing quite a bit of history on this at Wendover, over in Utah. There's the map of it. Also the Pony Express. Could you imagine? Covered wagons, horses, and they basically walked all that way. Took months and months. Heading west, find their fortune. Right through here. We're standing in it. Oh, there you go. That's what it looked like. Just thousands and thousands of folks heading west. What a journey, huh? Here I am running around in a van. Times have changed, but they would have come right through here. This would have been the same view they had in this big old fort here to help them. Fort Churchill, right in the middle of the desert. Looks like they kind of follow along the rivers too, so Carson River was a good water source for them when they needed their water. Well, pretty darn cool. Alright, everyone get in the van. We're out of here. I'll show you the front cam. That's where you're seeing a lot of the road footage from, that camera right there. That white building we passed on the highway down by the river, the maintenance guy said there's history there too. So I'm going to run back there on our way out of here. Get a quick shot of the cemetery here. There's a car, a couple people. I've been the only one here. Me, the maintenance workers, and the ranger. Alright, here's the Fort Cemetery. The sign says most of them been moved. They emptied it out after the fort closed. Just a couple graves of some of the settlers here. Wow, huh? Well, let's go find that white building and check that out. It's worth a stop here. It was worth $10. Come in and see all this. They're saving history. Very important. It'd even be something to camp out here. At least for a night. But it's kind of out of the way, off the beaten path too, off this alternate 95 up here. Alright, I should make a left here and head up towards Carson City, but I want to go back and check out that big white building. It's part of the history of the fort. Must have been like a hotel or something. I see a storyboard. Yay. Looks good shape, doesn't it? Buckland Station. Looks like 1860. Samuel Buckland built this. It was a hotel, stagecoach stop, all kinds of stuff. Wow. Even supplied soldiers in the fort. Looks new. Looks like they've spent quite a bit restoring it. Wonder if the state has this. Bet they do. Once again, this was all last minute discovery on Google Maps when I seen this stuff. Oh, they got a parking area, little barbecue, picnic tables. Yeah, this has to be state. There's restrooms. So it's like a park. Very cool. Well, not a bad drive so far today. We've done some miles, a little bit of sightseeing. But from here, I'm gonna get on up into close to Carson City. Next stop will be Virginia City. I'm gonna spend a night in an RV park up in that old historic town on top of a mountain. This is the 2026 summer travel season just getting going. We haven't even barely started yet. All kinds of miles, all kinds of things we're going to see this summer. The journey continues. Heck, it never ends. Talk soon.